Well, greetings there, knife lovers. This old sword back with you again, and welcome to the party. It's a wee party, not meaning a small one, but knives by we. I decided to join the fray out there in YouTube land and do kind of a different sort of a video. Um, yeah, it's a bit gimmicky, I feel, to be honest. I've reviewed all these knives before. They are my favorite knives of the Wii for the year, if I had to pick these five. And we're going to have some fun discovering what is inside of the pouches. So perhaps you can decide right now by looking back through my Wii knives reviews thus far for the year as to which ones they might be. And these aren't all necessarily year 2020 Wii knife releases, but they are Wii knives that I acquired this year. That means that some of them were a little older than 2020. They came out before the 2020 Blade Show, so on and so forth. So, without further ado, let's pick a pouch and see what we got. And by the way, I won't be discussing specifications or any of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to sort of tell you what I like about the knife and why I felt it was one of my top 5 Wii knives for the year. Fair enough? Okay. So, without further ado, let's see who's up first. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's a light one. I'm guessing which one it is. And I guessed right. Here we have the Wii Roman, a design by Alessandra De Santis, recently released by Wii Knife Company. It is said to be based on an ancient design, and the design in the handle is supposed to represent an ancient road in Rome. I don't have all those notes in front of me. However, you can look up this review and see more about this knife. It is a front flipper, which I have yet to master. And S35VN blade, titanium handle. The elongated handle with this knob on the end, this is meant to be a pull to get it out of your pocket or your waistband. And if you check out Alessandra's profile or page on Instagram, you will see her and others demonstrating how this can be used as a wave opening feature. It's a very light knife. Let's see if I can get a decent front flip going. Oh, come on. Aha. Practice makes perfect. Very thin blade, very lightweight. Extremely well balanced, almost not there in the hand, and yet plenty of handle to grip. It is a very long, thin, stabby blade, and I would say one of the most unusual designs that the Wii Knife Company has ever come up with. The ergos are fine because it's a very neutral handle, and yes, there's no clip, so this would go deep in the pocket with the butt end of the handle sticking up, perhaps out of your pocket or near the top of your pocket, where you can just reach in with 2 fingers and pull it out. As you're pulling it out, you can hit the wave action, pulling it back and open the knife. Just takes a little practice, so your finger is not covering the blade. So that's a wee Roman, very classy blade. Next up, how about here? A little heavier pouch. Yes, and this is the wee Scapio. I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly, with 2 P's. It is a faceted blade, and the design is by TNT Designs. Check them out on Instagram. I loaned this out to my good friend Dirk Werning over in Napa, California, and he really seemed to like this knife. I knew he would. It just oozes quality. It's got a beautiful stone wash, great ergonomic handle. It's not particularly long, whereas the Roman had a 4-inch blade. This is about 3.6. Very subtle, nice wee emblem on the side. Nice sharpening choil. And although you have a faceted blade, you really only have one sharpening grind throughout. This is more of a flat, and this is more of a hollow. So you might say you could use that for your harder cutting chores or not. I think it's simply decorative, and it's kind of neat. It has an internal pin stop system. Fires open beautifully in a flash. Just brighten things up a little bit there. I think I was a little low on the light, so we'll see if that improves things, especially for these black blades. So the wee Scapio, neat looking clip, not reversible. Most of the titanium clips are not. So again, all titanium handle, stone wash. This one's in kind of a bronze underfinish with a blackened look to the on top of the bronze. Flat black blade. Wee does this finish so well. Really, really nice. Wee Scapio. And what's next? How about here? Medium weight pouch. And here we have the wee Straight Up. A fantastic traditional Japanese blade design. What the original tantos actually looked like before we invented the chisel ground American tanto. That was circa 1983 or so by Lynn Thompson. 84 was sort of the year of the tanto. Everybody was making tantos, but I digress. If you look up traditional tanto, you look up Japanese sword, what have you, you're going to see this style of a point. The texturing, the raised design here has the wee logo, which if you didn't know the wee logo, you would just assume it was a lined pattern with it going in different directions. Interesting clip on this one is that for a solid titanium clip, and it's not interchangeable, it's a full deep carry, and you almost never see that. You have that sharp angled shoulder. You also have a nice blue stonewash. You have some very nicely machined in patterns here. Cross hatches on the shoulders here of both sides of the handle. Tastefully done WE logo there, and again throughout. This does use the WE star bits that do come with the knife. So there are no torques on this one. Everything is a star bit. It makes it kind of interesting. Even the thumb studs use that star bit. And you notice on the show side you have no screws. You only have your one pivot screw there. And you have the screw on the end holding the clip in, which I imagine also holds the handles together. We have a lanyard pin that's hidden from the side. And lastly, and certainly not least, a very classy 0-degree grind. So this grind goes right down to the edge. There's no secondary bevel there. Your secondary bevel picks up here and blends right in. And it's nice that they use the black so that sort of stands out. They do make these in a non-blackened blade as well, but this just shows the work that was done. M390 steel on this one. And what did I pull up last? Have to look. Backtracking here, bear with me. Ah yes, the Scapio was a 20 CV steel, just so you know. This one is M390. M390 and 20 CV, I understand, are comparable steels by different manufacturers. And again, I recommend the app Knife Steel Compositions. It's a free app for Android and iOS. Highly recommend it. You can look up any steel you want, see the composition, little of the history, and what other steels it connects with. Very nicely done. Nice dictionary of steels. So there is the WE straight up. These aren't in any particular order, but that's the third one for today. And let's go here. I have a feeling I know who this guy is. Ah yes, the Blocao. B-L-O-C-A-O means brick house in Spanish. Was designed by Miguel Barbudo. And you should see some of his custom work on Instagram if you haven't already. It's an unusual knife. It's a lockback on bearings. You have to be a little aware of how to open it. That's not an assist. That was just a lot of energy I put into the opening. It's a Spanish style vaquero blade. And it uses a window lock where that window on the lock engages the tang of the blade ever so securely. I would venture to say, as I have before, that it's as strong as your triad lock on the cold steels. And I know I'm getting into testy territory there by you cold steel lovers. I have triad locks as well, and I will say again, this is a extremely solid design. I don't know if you want to put 600 pounds and clamp them into the vise and put 600 pounds on the handle to test things, but the thing I love about this is how ergonomic it is. It just melts into my hand. Although there's no jimping on the blade, it is just so solid in the hand. It is a over 4-inch blade. I think it's around 4 1/4-ish. Beautiful marbled carbon fiber handle, stonewash titanium bolsters, titanium frame, and again that nasty Spanish Bowie style blade. Yes, you got plenty of room for lanyards in that lanyard hole. It's a balanced knife, although a little bit on the heavier side. I believe this one was well over 5 ounces. I'm going to drop this video into my WE knife playlist, and you can see all the other WE knives in there, all of these that you see here today, along with many others that I've reviewed this year. Now, a lot of people complain about this knife being dangerous, but it's just that it behaves differently than other lockbacks. It's sort of half lockback and half flipper. You can roll it out, and you hear that click securely in place. You can use 2 hands to close it. It is contained by the same lock that contains it when it's opened. You can open it with a single flick. You just have to put some energy behind it. Otherwise, if you do a wimpy open, it can bounce back on your fingers and be a little on the painful side. That is the WE Blocow. Lastly, and I didn't know what any of these were going to be when I put them out there. I just kind of shuffled them around. It's kind of a shell game of WE knives today. Ah, yes, the Chimera, named after, I believe, a mythical Greek creature that had the heads of both serpents and dragons and tigers and all that good kind of stuff. You can see, that's my furnace in the background, by the way, so if you hear a little rushing noise, that's not special sound effects. This is, I think, a beautifully done 3D handle. Some may feel it's a little on the cheap looking side. Hate to use the word gas station knife because, you know, once you say that, you're going, oh yeah, that WE Chimera, that's a gas station knife. But this is all the real deal material. Titanium handle, beautiful scalloped Bowie blade, fuller running, full length. You can choke up very easily. And this is another one that melts right into the hand. Not quite so nicely as the Blocow because of the flat handles, whereas the Blocow had contoured handles. It's still just a really remarkable looking knife. You flip this open and you get attention from anybody that knows anything about knives or even doesn't. So you've got that sort of a brass look underneath and the blackened handle. These come in various colors. I believe this comes in like a blue and I can't tell you what others, but you can look them up. And they may or may not still be available. I'm not sure if they were phasing these out or not. You got this interesting hole pattern that goes straight through. And as far as you know, this was an internal design by WE. It is a frame lock folder. Nice detent, just about perfect. Interesting clip, although not deep carry, but it's okay. You have a interesting scalloped, sort of suspended backspacer with detailing, again, with the brass sort of showing through here. It just has that burnished, kind of worn, old look without being old. And I suspect with use that may increase. If some of this black overcoat begins to wear away, I think you get a little more of that brass showing through. Yeah, it's kind of that interesting old craquelure kind of a look. So the WE Chimera, and we're going to end with the Chimera in the main frame here. Not comparing it to other knives. Again, if you have interest in any one of these and want to know more about them, go ahead and look up my reviews on any one of them, along with, I think, at least another 5 that I did this year. It's been a big year for me in WE knives as far as doing reviews. Of course, I've accelerated a bit this year as well, and there's a lot more reviews this year than there were in previous years, where I decided to get serious with the knife review business. Hope you like this. Don't forget to subscribe, and shout out to White Mountain Knives and Justin. Many of these came through his store. And don't forget that you can get a 10% off discount with the code OLDSWORD at www.whitemountainknives.com. Here's to you, and have a great new 2021. If we don't see each other between that now and then, but there will be more blade reviews. I got some stuff coming in. Postal Service is running quite slow these days, so as soon as it gets here, I will review it. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. Farewell.